Good day. I am Jeneth J. Salvador, Teacher 3 of Senior High School Department from Talon National High School. And with me is Ma'am Rosalie V. Ambat, Teacher 2 of Junior High School Department. And we are here to present our study entitled Use of Strategic Intervention Materials for Grade 9 Students with Learning Difficulties in Science. Science allows students to explore the world and discover new things. It is also an active subject containing activities such as hands-on labs and experiments. According to Barredo 2014, it aims to exhibit awareness and application of skills, attitudes, and values in resolving diverse life situations. Aranda et al. 2019 mentioned that science teachers must maximize their creativity in exploring varied strategies and approaches for the students to better understand and learn challenging concepts in science. However, despite the effort of the teachers, there are students who have learning difficulties in science. As mentioned by Villarreal 2013, these students find it hard to organize and understand each topic. This is true with the students of Talon National High School. There are students, specifically grade 9, who have struggles in academics, particularly in science. As specified in DepEd Order No. 39 Series of 2012, interventions have to be made in order to address learning gaps. Using strategic intervention materials or SIM is known as one of the recommended various intervention forms that can bridge learning gaps. Strategic intervention materials are conceptualized and devised tools that will aid the teacher provide the learners the needed support to make progress in studies. According to Villones 2018, the essential purpose of SIM is to make students master the least learned competencies in science. Strategic intervention materials are remediation aid for the students at the level of their understanding. That's according to Diaz and Dio 2017. More so, Rodrigo 2015 mentioned that it can increase and strengthen the skills, knowledge, and understanding of the student in various subject areas. Furthermore, the students can have the opportunity to discover their understanding and make sense of the new scientific concepts. That's according to Herrera and Soriano 2016.
This study would like to assess the grade 9 students of Talon National High School who have learning difficulties in science through strategic intervention materials. Specifically, it sought to answer the following questions. First, what is the level of learning difficulty of grade 9 students in science before the use of strategic intervention materials in teaching? Second, what is the level of learning difficulty of grade 9 students in science after the use of strategic intervention materials? And third, is there a significant difference in the level of learning difficulties before and after the use of strategic intervention materials?
For the scope and limitations, only grade 9 students who failed in science subject during the first grading period were included in the study. The coverage of the intervention was lessons during the second grading period. Intervention was conducted within 3 weeks. Results of evaluation during regular class hours were not used as basis for making SIM.
Let us now move to the methodology. To assure the participants are low achievers or have learning difficulties in science, the researchers used purposive sampling. The participants were 10 grade 9 students of Talon National High School who got a grade of lower than 75% during the first grading period. The researchers used one group pretest post-test design. A 25-item teacher-made pretest was given to the participants to identify the least mastered competencies. Prior to the administration of pretest, the test was validated by the principal. The least mastered competencies were identified by the researchers based on the result of the pretest. Strategic intervention materials were then designed by the researchers. The intervention was conducted 3 days within a week for a period of 3 weeks to ensure the improvement in participants' academic performance in science. The post-test was given after the application of the intervention. Frequency count and mean were used in consolidating the participants' pre-test and post-test. To interpret the scores in pre-test and post-test, the researchers modified and used the OFF scales of Aranda et al. 2019. The t-test was used to determine if there is significant difference between the scores in pre-test and post-test of the participants. This table shows the verbal interpretation of scores in pre-test and post-test. Scores of 20 and above has verbal interpretation high, which means that learners have very slight or no learning difficulties. 10 and 12 is satisfactory, which means that learners have slight learning difficulties, while 9 and below is low, which means that learners have high learning difficulties.
Let us now go to the results and discussion. Table 2 shows the result of pre-test and post-test. The mean score of 5.50 revealed that during the pre-test, all participants have no mastery in the lessons. This implies that the prior knowledge and retention of learnings of the participants are low and they have learning difficulties. On the other hand, after the intervention, it can be noted that there is a considerable increase in the scores of the participants in the post-test. Mean score of 14.70 revealed that they have adequately mastered the competencies. This indicates that the learning difficulties of the participants have improved, and the use of strategic intervention material is effective. In fact, Salvador et al. 2014 mentioned that the use of SIM is effective in terms of improving students' performance and learning approach. Table 3 presents the significant difference between pre-test and post-test mean scores. The p-value of 0.000 indicates that there is a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test. The results confirm the findings of Salvador et al. 2014, Miguel 2012, and Soberano 2010. This means that there is a substantial change in the level of learning difficulties of the participants before and after the use of strategic intervention material. This also concurred with a study conducted by Herrera and Soriano 2016, which showed that the utilization of SIM helped to improve the least learned competence of the learners.
Based on the result of the study, the following conclusions are drawn. First, the level of learning difficulty of grade 9 students of Talon National High School before the use of SIM is high. Second, the level of learning difficulty of grade 9 students at Talon National High School improved after using SIM. There is significant difference in the level of learning difficulties before and after the use of SIM. That concludes our presentation. Once again, this is Rosalie Ambat and my co-researcher, Ms. Jeneth Salvador, the authors of the study, Use of Strategic Intervention Materials for grade 9 students who have learning difficulties in science. Thank you and good day.